The first thing to recognize is that time is not infinite. Time is not infinite. And so, whatever activity you pursue, you must give up something else to pursue it. You don't get, unfortunately, you don't get to have your cake and eat it, regardless of the fluffy bullshit that we're often told. Time is finite. And as a result of that, when we choose to focus on one thing, it's at the detriment of everything else that we're not focusing on. Okay. And that was a really, really big realization for me a long, long time ago, because I used to be obsessed with building businesses, building wealth, and had my restaurants where we would routinely work 16 hours a day, 6 days a week in the restaurants, and then had businesses where we would do exactly the same thing in those businesses to grow them. And I realized that I wanted to change that. And instead, I wanted to focus on having other things in my life as well, such as a wife. My wife and I almost got divorced because I was like gung ho, just working in my business, and at the detriment of everything else. I was hyper focused on that. I wanted to have children. It was really important for me to become a father. And so I recognized that if I was going to do that and also to be a good dad, I would need to make some adjustments to the way I thought about life. And so what I come to realize was that if you set a goal for, I don't know, let's say like my goal used to be $100 million in net worth. Okay. That used to be my goal. Then everything was kind of focused around shooting for that. If you have that as a goal and don't also realize what it would take to reach that goal, then you will absolutely be setting yourself up for failure. Because to get to that quantum of money, everything else has to be put aside. And just that is the only thing you live and breathe. Does that make sense? Like, you don't get to build $100 million in wealth and have this lifestyle where you travel the world and go skiing and all that kind of crap. Okay. You don't get to have that. You do later when you've built the 100 million, then you get to have, but when you're building, there's sacrifices you have to make. I hope that makes sense. Okay. So what I sat down and realized was that if I lowered my goalpost, then I could get it to the point where I could have my particular level of income that I wanted to get, and also spend time with my wife, and also spend time with my family and children and things like that. Okay. And so that for me was very, very important to do. So for you, something that I found personally very, very good was to decide what you don't want. What you don't want. So I had the realization, for instance, I'm just going to read some things that I had the realization on. This is from my own personal shit, that I actually didn't give a flying fuck about changing the world. Didn't really care about that. Wasn't interested in being Elon Musk, for instance, who's out there building rockets, changing the world. Zero interest in that for me. Just not my gig. Okay. So that kind of took that, in a way, took that pressure off to be that, because I realized, oh, I actually don't want that. Society wants that for entrepreneurs, but what do you want as an entrepreneur? Okay. I didn't want to build the next billion-dollar unicorn business. Like I just don't give a shit about that. It just wasn't important to me to build that unicorn business. Okay. Just wasn't important to me. And again, that's a society that says, oh, you have to build and grow indefinitely. Well, you don't. You really don't. Okay. I didn't want to be featured on podcasts and go and speak at seminars and shit like that. I have done that in the past. But now I'm like, I don't give a flying fuck about that. I don't want to be kind of quote unquote famous within that particular niche. I like doing what I do. Okay. This level of infamy that I have is kind of perfect for me. I love doing this at this level. Okay. And I didn't want to extract every single efficiency out of my business to extract the maximum valuation from it. That wasn't important to me. It was more important to me that I build a business that I could exit and get a good return from, whilst also doing the things that I love to do. So some of the things that I want to do, for instance, so that's all what I didn't want. Some of the things I wanted to do was I want to spend time with my wife and children. Massively important to me. Huge value for me, making sure that I'm there for my lovely wife and for my fantastic kids. So for me, that was a guiding light. Okay. I want to work on interesting projects. So I don't want to work. I'm no longer interested in just doing something for the sake of making money from it. That's one of the reasons I redid all the AOE training program, for instance. Okay. I want to focus. I want to work on interesting projects, things that stimulate me personally, where I can feel passionate about doing them. That's important to me. I want to be able to travel, love traveling. I want to be able to travel whenever, wherever I want to. And I want to see my friends. I love all my mates, yourselves included. I think of you guys as my friends as well. So I want to be able to see my friends a lot. Very, very important to me. Love my mates. And I want to start doing things that I hate. Okay. So that became a very, very simple list of things that then could guide all of my decision-making process about how I spend my time. Because you can have it all, okay? As long as the things that you want to have, you have them at a level that facilitates having the other things. So if I have the goal for 100 million in net worth, then I probably wouldn't be able to get all that other cool shit that I want. But because I don't, then I can structure things with the full knowledge that I'm prepared to give up the 100 million in exchange for a lower quantum of income, a lower quantum of net worth, along with all the other things that's important to me. Okay. Does that make sense? I don't know if it does or doesn't, but that's really, really worked for me. That's really as a way to start understanding myself and how I want to operate in the world and not be unduly influenced by what society deems entrepreneurs should do with their businesses. I think that's a great place to start, thinking this through for yourself. And I've often thought that building a business is a great proxy for your own personal development journey, to getting to know yourself and who you are and what's important to you personally. Okay. Hey there, this is Neil-Asher from the Aussie Online Entrepreneurs. I want to say a big thank you for watching this video. That video actually was from the regular Monday night Q&A session, excuse me, that I have with the members of the Aussie Online Entrepreneurs. Over 2,500 of us now, and growing, by the way. We're the fastest growing community of e-commerce entrepreneurs right here in Australia, with sales, by the way, of over $50 million. Now, if you'd like to find out more about what we do at the Aussie Online Entrepreneurs and get yourself off there and come and join us, all you need to do is go to www.aussieonlineentrepreneurs.com.au. AussieOnlineEntrepreneurs.com.au. The link for that, by the way, is underneath this video, and I will welcome you with open arms and look forward to seeing you in the next video. Till then, have a good one. Bye.